Welcome back to American Wealth Empire. Today, we're diving into a topic that shapes the very foundation of the United States economy: the shocking truth about America's wealth gap. You've probably heard that the rich are getting richer, while the poor are getting poorer. But do you really know just how wide that gap has become, and what it means for your future? Stay with me until the very end, because the numbers I'm about to reveal will completely change the way you see money, success, and opportunity in America. 1. The top 1% versus everyone else. The richest 1% of Americans now control more wealth than the entire middle class combined. Let that sink in. Just a small fraction of people, less than the population of a single major U.S. city, hold more money than hundreds of millions of Americans combined. And here's the truth. This isn't just about hard work. It's about ownership of systems. The 1% own corporations, real estate, investments, and financial tools that generate money on autopilot. They profit when the stock market rises, when housing prices increase, and even when regular people go into debt. The middle and lower classes, meanwhile, depend almost entirely on wages. But wages are capped by time. You can only work so many hours in a day. That's why the 1% pull away year after year. They don't play the same game. They own the field. 2. Wages are stuck, but costs keep rising. Decades ago, one income could support an entire household. Dad went to work, mom stayed home, and there was still money left to buy a home, raise kids, and retire with dignity. Fast forward to today. 2 people can work full-time jobs and still barely make ends meet. Why? Because while salaries have grown a little, the cost of living has exploded. Housing prices in major cities are out of reach for millions of families. Healthcare costs are crushing. College tuition has risen faster than inflation for decades, leaving young people buried in student loans before they even start their adult lives. This isn't just bad luck. It's a system designed to stretch families thin. If you feel like you're running on a treadmill and never moving forward, you're not imagining it. That treadmill is real. 3. The power of assets. Here's where the game truly changes. The wealthy don't depend on paychecks. They depend on assets. Assets are things that put money in your pocket whether you're working or not. Stocks, bonds, rental properties, businesses, and even intellectual property. Think about it. When you pay rent, your landlord is building wealth. When you buy a coffee at Starbucks, shareholders are building wealth. When you swipe your credit card, the bank is building wealth. Most Americans live in a cycle of trading time for money, working hours, collecting a paycheck, and spending it immediately on bills. But the rich understand that real freedom comes from assets. That's why they reinvest their profits over and over until their money works harder than they ever could. Quick pause. If this video is opening your eyes, don't forget to subscribe right now. Join American Wealth Empire so you don't miss the strategies that can help you escape the cycle and build real wealth. 4. Debt. The silent trap. Debt is one of the most powerful tools in the American financial system, and it's used very differently depending on which side of the wealth gap you're on. For the majority, debt is a prison. Credit card balances grow with double-digit interest rates. Student loans hang over people for decades. Mortgages keep families locked into 30 years of payments. And all of this ensures that the average person is constantly sending money out instead of building wealth. But here's the shocking twist. The wealthy use debt as a weapon. They take out loans not to buy things that lose value, but to buy assets that produce income. They borrow millions to buy apartment buildings, businesses, and investments, then use the profits to pay off the loans and keep the extra cash. Same system, opposite results. 5. The tax advantage of the wealthy. When it comes to taxes, The gap is bigger than you think. The average American pays taxes directly out of their paycheck before they even touch the money. Meanwhile, the wealthy structure their finances in ways that legally minimize their taxes. Business owners can deduct expenses. Real estate investors can use depreciation to lower taxable income. The ultra-rich use trusts, offshore accounts, and charitable foundations to protect their money. Some billionaires have gone years without paying a single dollar in federal income tax. This isn't because they're cheating, it's because they know the rules of the game. And here's the uncomfortable truth. The tax system in America rewards ownership and punishes labor. If you're only working for wages, you'll always carry the heavier load. 6. Education and financial literacy. Here's one of the most shocking parts of all. In most American schools, kids graduate knowing the Pythagorean theorem, but not how compound interest works. They can memorize historical dates, but not how to build a credit score. They're tested on Shakespeare, but not on how to avoid predatory loans. The result? Millions of young adults enter the real world financially blind. They get their first job, their first credit card, their first car loan, and before they know it, they're trapped in the cycle of debt and bills. Meanwhile, children of the wealthy grow up learning about investing, ownership, and money management at the dinner table. They inherit not just wealth, but the knowledge of how to grow it. That's why financial literacy isn't just a skill, it's a dividing line between who stays stuck and who breaks free. 7. What you can do about it. Now, here's the part that matters most. The wealth gap doesn't have to trap you. You may not have been born into wealth, but you can still build it. Start small. Invest a little every single month, even if it's just $50. Learn how to buy assets, not just things. Prioritize financial education. Read books, watch videos, learn from people who have done it. Reduce bad debt, avoid lifestyle inflation, and focus on ownership. Most importantly, play the long game. Wealth isn't built overnight. It's built over years of consistent, smart choices. Don't compare yourself to billionaires. Compare yourself to the old you. If you're more financially educated and more in control than you were a year ago, you're already closing your personal wealth gap. America's wealth gap is real. It's massive and it's growing. But remember, knowledge is power. The same tools that the rich use are available to you, if you choose to learn them and take action. Thanks for watching American Wealth Empire. If this opened your eyes, hit the like button, subscribe, and share this video with someone who needs to hear the truth. Because building wealth in America isn't just for the elite, it can be for you too.